Hello everyone, welcome to my channel. This is Buzzy Barbie and I wanted to share with you Daisy Yellow's new prompt series. This first one of the prompt series of 31 days, and the prompt is called Wonder 31. You can find it at daisyyellowart.com, and there's also a Facebook page that you can request to join. That is a Daisy Yellow Facebook page. She's also got a Daisy Yellow Circle page, and that one is a paid page. But you're welcome to peruse around through her website. She's got a great website, some free workshops, some paid workshops, but excellent start for someone doing art journaling. So this first prompt is called Minimal, and that's where we're going to begin. What's funny about this is I looked up the definition of minimal and I had a very hard time finding it, and I think this is hilarious. So I went to this Webster's dictionary that I think I got at a used book sale at the library, and I looked up minimal and it wasn't in here. There's a lot of other things, miniature and other good things, but I did not see minimal. I did find out that minify is the absolute opposite of magnifying. I thought that was funny. That right there made me laugh. And there's minim in there, but there's no minimal. So I thought that was hilarious, because I know I've seen minimal things everywhere. Then I went to Roget's Pocket Thesaurus. It says new, but you can see this one's very old. And this one I think might have been in my family since I was in high school. And I looked it up here too, and I couldn't find it in here. So there were no words that sounded like it that they could provide. But I thought it was kind of funny. I rip these pages out and then I make copies sometimes. I thought I might use it in my art, but I decided not to. Now what's really funny is while I was looking for those books, I came across one of my old notebooks. And the funniest thing in here is that it cracked right open. And if you'll see, it says Barb's Notes July 2012 through May 2014. And I actually retired right after that. This is a notebook I keep at home, so everything's in one place. And right on the very top page where I opened it, so this was January 7th of 2013, and I wrote, from the Antique Roadshow on PBS, Charlie Hopper, Minimal Realism, Words and Birds, and I wrote print, and then I had an asterisk by one line drawing by somebody else, looks like Carlton, but it's actually Charlie Harper is this person's name, and he is something else. He's done just tons of the most beautiful minimal type of drawings for history books, for fun. So I'm going to get started. I've been laboring over this, and I was communicating with Tammy, the Daisy Yellow lady, about this, about how hard it is for me sometimes to go minimal. And she said, just do what you like to do in your style and take it any way you want it. So first thing I'm going to do, things are sticking to my other things here because I've got some new stuff. I ordered some wonderful things from Martina's Wonderful Shop. It's an online shop, and I ordered some really cool stuff. So I wanted to use some of it here. And some of the things that I'll be using some Lindy Stamp Gang that in different colors, and I'll tell you as I use them. I want to try these two. One is a Starburst spray, this bluish one here, and it's called Tiffany Lou Blue. So this is in honor of my almost daughter-in-law, Tiffany. As of June, she will be daughter-in-law. And then this is called Flat Fabio, and the color, so these are flats, and the color is Luscious Lime. So Luscious Lime, Tiffany Lou Blue, Starburst, and Flat Fabio. So I'll be using those. I'm going to try to sneak in a little bit of this Distress Spray Stain from Tim Holtz Ranger. This one's called Vintage Photo, and it just looks kind nice to me. It looks a little bit glittery, a little goldy. I thought I'd sneak a little bit of that in too. And then I'll be using some different stamps. And the biggest one, my star attraction, is going to be this bird. I think it's a dinky stencil. That's such a cute name. And it's called Robin TC057. So that is going to be kind of cool. And I'll be inking that on the final surface. And then along the way, I wanted to try out a few other things. So one of them I'm going to put on the bottom, this is my plan, is to just use this little piece of lace. And that is with a stamp called Border Lace that I really liked. And it's from Blue Fern Studios. Lace Borders is the exact name, Blue Fern Studios. So I will be using this, and I plan to just use it with my finger. This is the thing everything's been sticking to. Now, as I spray, I'll be using I may be using a couple of other things, and I'll tell you about them now in case I don't use them so that you can check them out yourself. But I got some really nice stamps. Also, one called, it's a Prima Cling Stamp, and it is really nice. You could make a whole collage just with this. I thought that was beautiful. So it's got an item number on it of 814656. It's just a gorgeous stamp. I thought that was really pretty. So I'll be trying that possibly, and this might be overkill, Stampendous Cling Rubber Stamp. Franz, it says, let's see, the name of this is called Cling Vintage Letter. CRR221. And if you have any other questions on these, you can contact me, but I'll put a link to Martina's shop on this video. I may also be using this dark room door collage stamp. It's got some neat circles, and they turn out like this. And I think there is a name. It's DDCS025 Artie Circles. So maybe playing around with that. So I've got all these things ready to go. And the first thing I'm going to do, I have some letters and these I got from Walmart. They come in this humongous box, and I just like them. And it's called Art Foam Dot Letters. There are a ton of them, and I've never used them, and they've been getting dusty up on my shelf. So I thought I would try those. I thought they'd be a lot of fun to spray over. And then I don't really need to add any special lettering. Many, I need an M in there. Many, and to fit it all in, what I do in this kind of situation, I put the beginning letter one place, the end letter another place, and then start squeezing things in. And I like the up and down bounciness of this. I think that's really cute. Okay, so I think I'm ready to spray. And I will start with the lightest color, which is the Tiffany Blue. Give it a shake. I filled these yesterday, and it comes without water, each one. And then let's see, I put some paper in the bottom of this because I hate to waste any of this beautiful paint. So it works. Okay, so here we go. So I'm just spraying the page. My little L moved. Oh no! What the L? Why did the L move? Okay, so I've got some blue on there. I like that. And I think I'll be adding now, I'm going to add just a touch of this Flat Fabio Luscious Lime. So, again, shaking the bottle. Doing a couple of pumps. Here we go. These are coming out real grippy, which surprises me, but that's okay. I'm always amazed at things that surprise me. Okay, now I'm going to start with a touch of this Distress Spray Stain in Vintage Photo by Ranger, Tim Holtz. We'll see what on earth that gives me. And I'm not going to do much because I'm a little worried. I'm trying to do it around the edges primarily. Okay. So, I think I'm done with that. So now I have seen where people use, and I'm going to try to talk louder as I go over to my paper roll They call this kitchen towel, I think, in the UK. Anyway, I'm going to go over the top of this so that I can get it somewhat dry. And it's interesting because it's given me the minimal backwards. So I'm pushing on those letters. Look at that. That is really, really neat. I like that. That's backward minimal. Okay, backward and reverse. So now I think I can take these letters off. Just for the L of it, I'm taking the letters off. Look at that. That is so cool. Okay, and now I think I'm going to hit it with my heat gun. My heat gun isn't as noisy as some, and I hate to do this to people that are listening to a video, but I also don't want to turn off the video and start again. I'd rather just make one continuous video so you can see the goods, the bads, the fun, the horror of anything that I do. Now, if you like this video, and I hope you do, it's kind of an experimentation and an exercise here. But if you like this video, please click on the like button. I really like that. That'll let me know you liked it. Go ahead and comment. Let me know if you'd like more videos, what you'd like, and I'll be sure to work on those. Okay? And while you're at it, you could subscribe. That would be nice. Then you'll see things as they come out. I'm going to be doing a giveaway on a couple things I got from the lovely Martina's shop, My Rusty Crown. And I think you're going to enjoy it, but I'll tell you a little more about that at a later date, not too far in the distant future. Okay, so I want to start doing giveaways about every month with some of Martina's things, and I think it'll be a lot of fun. Now this is quite an interesting texture, and it is definitely done. Okay, so I'm done with that. Now I'm going to go in with the stamp, and I'm trying to do this in some kind of a, we'll see if I can do anything in a half hour or less. I'm one of those people that normally likes to get started at 11 o'clock at night and work till 1 in the morning. Okay, so what I'm doing, just so that you can see this, there's nothing fancy about this. Since it's so sticky on one side, because it wants me to put it on a acrylic block, and I'm not doing it. I'm just not doing it. I'm trying to pick up as much ink as I can with this archival ink, and that's another thing that is sold in My Rusty Crown. There we go. Okay, now I'm going to take this down to the bottom. Let's see if I can get it up here a little bit. And I can actually, yeah, I think what I'm going to do, hold on, I'm going to take out my book and throw down, there we go. Now I think you can see as I do this. So here we go again. I'm making sure I have lots of good black strong ink, and that's why this page is going to be called minimal, because it's going to be one of my shorter things. So on the bottom, and I'm lining it up with the bottom, and I'm just going over it with my fingers. I could probably use what happens if I use a brayer brush? A brayer. Well, it came out. It's a little bit light, but I like that. It looks kind of vintage, fun, sort of. I'm going to make the edges around this very black also, so it will blend in by the time I'm done. Now I'm going to go to the last part of the lace and finish. Nice strong finish. I love it. That is really great. And then I will, just to show, I do clean off my supplies that I get, and I use baby wipes. I just happen to have Pampers right now. I don't know that it matters. I'd be curious if anyone has a special brand they like. Please tell me. This one seemed to work okay. I don't know what else there is since I've never used anything else, but okay. So I've cleaned this off as much as I'm going to clean it off, and I'm replacing it inside its plastic folder here. There. Okay, so I've done that. I'm also going to be replacing it. I didn't used to be so good about this, but since I'm doing videos and I want to be precise about what I tell you folks, I'm trying to keep things in their proper packages. Okay, so next what I think the, you know, I think on the top, we might want some of that same lace. So now that I've gone through and cleaned it, I think I'll pick a different one of these and try it on the top. How about this really crazy big lace? Okay, and I'm going to try a different method of inking it up and see if I ink it up this way. So I'll lay it down. And most likely I should be going over this with, I've heard of going over it with an eraser when it's new, just to make sure you can get all the definition, because it comes with maybe a protective coating or however they manufacture it. Oh, look, I'm getting some nice, interesting black stuff going on there too. So I'm moving it out of your view, but I'm doing the same thing I was just doing. So I'm going to go up to the top, and I think I've got it inked pretty well. Up to the top, here we go again. Line it up with the top, bring it into view, starting there, rolling it over one place. I like the rolling thing because I know it gets a nice evenish line. Okay, good. It's got a kind of a ghosty finish, and again, I like that very much. If I was trying to get a clearer finish, I'd be much more careful. I'd put it on a acrylic piece, but I want this vintagey look. And so I'm just going to line it up to the top. Push, and there we are. I think it looks pretty cool. And I can do some things to make it all match in a little bit better. I talked to you a little bit about how I would do the edge of the page, and I wanted to show you how I do that. So I use makeup sponges. I've got a variety of little things in this strawberry container. And then I'll be using, this is a makeup sponge. I had makeup on one end of it. I clip it off, and I use this. I've already used it on one side for some paint. I just take my archival ink, and the reason archival is good is because water won't make it react. And if you can see this, I'm going pretty heavy on the edge of the paper. The idea is to make it look more vintage. I am all about vintage, and that's probably why I love my rusty crown, because it is very vintagey. Just the thought of a rusty crown is exciting. I see rusty things and I think, don't do anything with them. Now you can see it makes an edge sometimes, so you got to be a little careful if you don't want that. I'm going to the bottom of the page as well. And so this is not a precise process. This is a fly by the seat of your pants serendipity process, and I'm enjoying it. I hope you are too. So we'll go back to where we were, and now I think what I'm going to do next is I'm going to take the bird and I'm going to put the bird on. That's the whole goal, is to have the bird as a focal point. And when I see how the bird works, I'll know where to put other stuff, like some of the stamping. And I will also be adding some, just some white spattering. I'm going to try the fan brush. I've noticed that the lady on Joggles does that with the fan brush, and it seems to turn out really cool. Now you can rub in here. That rubbing seems to get the black in there better, and I like that. So just doing a little hard rubbing, and I would definitely call this minimal for me, especially. I like to draw. I'm not so much, I haven't done as much of this type of work, and I want to do more, which is part of the reason I like doing these videos. Plus I just love interacting with all of you, and if I can teach you something and make you happy along the way, that's my goal. Okay, so lift it. I think that looks fabulous. There I am. Now I'm taking a baby wipe, and I'll wipe off the stencil just to do some kind of house cleaning. And again, I'm not a perfectionist, but I like to try and be a little bit tidy. So there we are. I'm going to close up my stamp while I do this, finish cleaning that. And then I'm going to be going in with my next step, which is these stamps. I think it'll be some fun. And at the very end, I'll use the white, maybe use a couple other things. Okay, so done with my little dinky dirty stencil, and it stayed kind of dirty. It never really came completely clean, but that shows that it's loved. So I'm going to put it back in the package before it loses its package, like a lot of them do. And then I'll have it for next time. Replacing it back in the package, and it's from That's Crafty, called Dinky Stencils. Great for ATC cards. Okay, so the next thing I think I will do is I'll be using this interesting stamp, the one from Stampendous called Cling Vintage Letter, because I like the way it looks, and I think I might be able to get rid of some of that oddball weird stuff. You know what? I've got a better idea to start with. I'm going to take the Joggles. This is a Joggle stencil. It's a super large one, and the name is called Punchinella Quintet Minis 10-33784, and it is a Joggles stencil, and I'll be using that next because that's gonna get rid of those hard lines, and I've been dying to get some honeycombs somewhere, so I think I'll use this. I'll go back to my little trusty little makeup sponge. I'll use my archival ink, and if I can go right over the top, perhaps you won't notice those. I'm doing a couple in other places. Oh yes, I like that. I think it helps get rid of the hard edge that was left there. So, kind of neat. That's a good way to cover up things you don't like. So I'm happy with that working. Yep. And then because I did it somewhere else, I want to have some more of those somewhere else on this page, but not as hard of a line as I did right there. So I'm very randomly selecting areas that currently have nothing else in them. Like it. Okay, I think that's enough of that. And then I'm wiping this off as well with my baby wipe. Okay. Now I've got these collage stamps, and I'm just more curious than anything, and they'll probably kind of gunk up and make too much out of a beautiful, lovely, minimal page, but I think I will add. It's minimal for me because there's not much to it. So I'm taking this collage stamp called Arty Circles, and I'm going to try, let's see what the ones I like the best are. I think I like this interesting harlequin looking design. So that looks like it's near the top. So I'm just going to get that part of the stamp inked up. Oh yeah, that's cute. Now I end up with another hard edge, but that is me. I think it kind of connects the piece. So I'm liking it. I'm liking it. There. Don't like the hard edges, but hopefully that can just be gotten rid of. Not too much trouble when I do some dots or something that I'll do. Okay, now I'm going to take this last stamp. I think this is the one I told you about earlier, and I think I will put a touch of script. And if this can distract from those horrible edges, we're in business. Oh yeah, because it makes other edges. So that's a good way to get rid of stuff, is just use other things to detract. Okay, so we're done with this. Now what I want to do is take some, I've got this huge bottle of gesso that I'm still getting rid of. And I've got some new one waiting in the wings. And I'm going to take a fan brush. And this is what I've seen Joggles Lady do. And so now I've got it on the fan brush. But what I will do is I'll be putting it, trying to make way so you can see what I'm doing. I'll put it right here. I'll add just a touch of water. And then let's see what happens. Well, it's flying about everywhere but where it should. So I think it's going to be okay. My whole desk is becoming white, spotted. All right, I'm putting that inside my water to sit, and I'm going to wipe this up before it hardens. It's really funny. It's on my lamp. It's everywhere. So now I know what I should do is put it inside that box that I did my sprays, where I did the sprays, because it gets everywhere. Okay, so I think we're just about done with minimal, but with me, I have to do something else. So I'm going to take this Kuretake pen. It's called a Zig Mangaka, and this one is a 05. And what I'm going to do, well, first I'm going to hit this with the heat. I think that's the best idea, because if I don't, chances are I'll hit on a place that's not a good place. Okay, so I'm just getting, mostly I'm interested in those letters. I'm thinking of trying to make those letters stand out just a bit, because that's one of my favorite things to do is the lettering. And you notice how it curls up. What I'll do is I'll probably pin it back with some clips that I've got, and then I hit it with some sprays of water, and that'll soften the page up so that it straightens up. Okay, that is good enough. So for the lettering, I'm just going to roughly, very roughly, do something in these letters. If you can see what I've done. Now you could have left it the way I had it, and that would have been okay too, but I'm enjoying this too much. And I would say, I think that's done. That's minimal, and that's number 1 for, again, the Daisy Yellow Wonder 31 prompts. Don't look at number 17 yet. Minimal. So I'll make a video on the second one the next time. Okay, so I hope you enjoyed this video. And to see this, you can actually go on to the Daisy Yellow Circle or daisyyellow.com. She has a link to her Facebook page that's free also, and you'll see how it ended up. But this is pretty much it, and I don't want to keep you hanging on anymore. I will sign it at the bottom and date it, and that's it for me. So please, again, hit like if you enjoyed this. Let me know your thoughts on other videos, and take a look at my blog. Bye-bye for now.